You can spend thousands on high-end analytics tools, but if your tracking isn't configured correctly, you are navigating completely blind. Open Google Analytics 4, and you will usually see one category dominating your acquisition reports: direct traffic. It is easy to assume this segment is made up of loyal customers who are manually typing your website's URL straight into their browser. The reality is much messier. Direct traffic is actually a default dumping ground for any visitor whose origin data got lost along the way. Relying on these default analytics leaves you with a massive blind spot. If you cannot see where your traffic actually originated, calculating the return on investment for your external campaigns is impossible. Let's trace what happens when you send out a standard untagged website URL, a naked link, through an SMS blast or a WhatsApp message. This diagram shows a user clicking that link. Notice how the encrypted messaging app intentionally blocks and destroys the origin path data to protect user privacy before it ever reaches the target server. Your server successfully receives the visitor, but because the origin data is missing, Google Analytics defaults to labeling the session as direct. Compare that to someone clicking a link on a search engine, which naturally passes its referral data along with the visitor without any extra configuration. Every time you share a naked link in an encrypted channel, you are actively erasing your own performance data. To completely bypass this data stripping, the industry relies on a specific framework, the Urchin Tracking Module, or UTM. We start with the foundation, your base target URL. This must be a valid HTTP or HTTPS address. From here, we add structure. First is the required UTM source. This identifies the exact platform the visitor came from, like Facebook or a newsletter. Next is the required UTM medium. This categorizes the marketing method itself, such as cost per click or an email blast. Finally, we attach an optional UTM campaign parameter. This identifies the specific strategic promotion or product launch you are running. Because these parameters are physically attached to the link itself, they bypass the messaging app's privacy filters entirely and force GA4 to record the exact data you've assigned. Manual tracking introduces a new problem. Database algorithms are completely rigid. This reporting table demonstrates what happens when context is ignored. A human knows that spring launch, with spaces and capital letters, is the same promotion as spring dash launch with a dash. The algorithm does not, and it splinters the identical campaign traffic across dozens of disconnected rows. To keep your data clean, you must adopt a strict naming convention. Use lowercase letters only, and replace all spaces with dashes or underscores. Failing to follow this convention requires hours of manual spreadsheet cleanup to reverse the damage. Without strict adherence to a naming protocol, your tracking data becomes exactly as useless as the direct traffic dumping ground. Once your formatting is standardized, parameters like UTM content isolate specific elements in your marketing. Look at this web page mockup showing an ad with a top navigation banner and a separate footer button. Both lead to the same product page. By applying a unique UTM content tag to the banner link and a different one to the footer link, you separate the two traffic streams. Your analytics will show you exactly which link generated the sale, resolving any internal debates over layout design. Accurate attribution pinpoints the exact visual trigger a user interacted with, rather than pointing to a generalized traffic source. Building these links by hand is slow and invites the type of human error that ruins reporting tables. A real-time UTM campaign builder automates the formatting. You plug in your variables, and the builder enforces the lowercase and dash-spaced protocols to instantly generate a perfectly structured link. You copy the generated URL and paste it directly into your paid ad or email blast. When that traffic arrives in Google Analytics, it is categorized correctly from the very first click, eliminating all guesswork. Proper campaign tracking allows you to trace every sale back to its origin, turning your marketing from an act of blind spending into an exact, measurable science.